Hey everybody, and welcome to a video on creating Notability files. So the easiest way to create a new Notability file is in the far upper right hand corner you see this blue button that looks like a pencil, and when we press that it'll make a new Notability file. The first thing we want to do is we want to be in the subject or folder where we'd like that Notability file to be. So I'm going to go to Math, I'm going to be in Chapter 1 Notes. On the top of the screen, it says Chapter 1 Notes. If you're ever confused about what folder you're in, that'll tell you. So now I'm going to press that button, and now we are in a brand new Notability file. Note, it is always going to start by naming it by default the date. So note June 13th, 2014, that's today's date. In order to change the title, all you have to do is press up there, and you will automatically be prompted to write something new. So I'm just going to make this the test note. Press enter and we're all set. So now that we're here, we might draw some things, we might type some things, and we're going to get to all of that later. But I just want to show you that, okay, now that we have a Notability file, there are some things we can do with it. So I'm going to press on the upper left-hand corner, we have this, what I call a bookshelf button. That takes us back to our main screen. And look, there's our test note. And note that it tells you the time and date at which it was last modified. Could be helpful. Suppose, though, that we open this test note in the wrong place. We'd like it to be in a different subject or different folder. All we have to do is we actually just click on the note itself with our finger, hold it, and you'll see that the page pops out of the screen, and you can move it wherever you would like into a different folder. And when you're in the folder you would like, maybe Chapter 2 Notes, you just let go, and that's where it goes. So now I'm going to go to Chapter 2 Notes. Suppose that you want to perhaps duplicate it. If you click on the upper left-hand corner to edit, you have some options. Actually, before duplicating, you can actually rename it just by clicking there and renaming it. So maybe test note number 1 now. You may also duplicate it. So note that if I click on this, I just clicked on it. I'm not holding it anymore. You have the option to delete it by pressing this trash button. I'm not going to delete it, so I'm going to press cancel. Or you may duplicate it. Suppose it's something that's really important, or you want to make minor adjustments to something that you'd like to have again and again. It will create a copy for you. Now, the blue button in the upper right-hand corner is not the only way to make a new Notability file. For instance, you can get one from Google Drive, or you can get one from email. Note that when you import a PDF, for instance, it's automatically going to go into whatever folder you're in. So you want to make sure you're in the right folder. For instance, now I'm in Chapter 2 Notes. Suppose that I want it to be Chapter 2 Homework. So I'm going to click on this upper right hand, this little arrow right next to the Create New File button, and I'm going to import from Google Drive. So I'm going to click Algebra 1, Test Review, and here's some test review. Whenever you import a document, you're going to have the option to create a new note, and it'll just create a new note for you, and the name of that PDF will be the name of the note, or you can add it to another pre-existing note. And so imagine I click Add to Note. I have all of the notes in my Notability that I can choose from, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm actually just going to create a new note. And it should. All right, and now I'm done. And there it is, 2-point form of a quiz, of a line quiz review. And so I got this PDF on which I can annotate and whatnot. Same idea if we are in our mail. So I emailed myself a PDF, and I'd like to open that in Notability. I just click and hold on that PDF, and it will give me the option to open it in a number of things. There's Notability. And when I do that, same options. Maybe I'll add it to the 2-point form of a line quiz review. So I'll add it there. Okay. So now 2-point form of a line quiz review will have, in addition to the normal thing, it will have whatever I just opened. So here's the other PDF down here, summer work before geometry. One more thing I want to point out is when you are done with a Notability file, what you can do with it. So from within the Notability file, in the upper left-hand corner, we have a similar arrow button, and this is the export button as opposed to the import button. And here you can email, you can put it to Dropbox, Google Drive. I'll show you email, Google Drive, and one other. So email, you can choose whether to make it a PDF, an RTF, or a note. I often just do PDFs. And then we're going to email the note. You can say to whom. I'm going to do it to myself. And the title or subject is going to be the title of that note by default. Of course, you can change it. And then you can write something. Hi. Send. Gone. You can put it to Google Drive. And you can tell them what folder you'd like it to be in. So Algebra 1, Test Review. All right, I'm going to export this to Test Review. Another great feature of the export is you can export this file to any app that you like. So perhaps you like working with Shobi and having your students submit work digitally like that. Or maybe you like having students submit in Haiku Learning. And so all you would have to do is click on Haiku Learning. The file has been added to Haiku. You just got to find the assignment and go ahead and hand it in.